Before we start, let's talk about this amazing smoothie that we're drinking today. It's made from the most delicious, most richest organic strawberry ice cream. The perfect treat for a hot day. Go to www.capitalFicecream.cookie and use our coupon code I.BWells in all caps to get 20% off your first order and to get the amazing recipe for this smoothie. Now, on to episode 5 of Impactful Women in History. If you haven't heard our podcast before, well, it is basically what the title states. It is about important women in history. Today we're learning about Ida B. Wells, her hardships, accomplishments, and impact. Who is Ida B. Wells? Ida B. Wells was an activist in women's rights, black rights, and anti-lynching. She worked on many social inequalities. She was a wide-known journalist who reported on these injustices. She was a hard worker for her family and for her work. In case you didn't know, lynching's definition is execution by a mob without trial. Throughout her life, she faced many challenges. For example, one big one that affected her life drastically was losing her parents and infant baby brother to a yellow fever outbreak. She was oldest, so she had to support her family. She dropped out of school at 16 and lied about being 18 in order to get a job as a teacher so she could support her family. After supporting her family for a while, her and her family moved in with her aunt, and her brother started working, giving her a chance to go back to school. Her and her family valued education a lot. She became a journalist and wrote for/co-owned the Memphis Speech and Headlight newspaper. She was known for reporting on racial injustice and other inequalities. But because of riots due to a controversial article she wrote, the building got burned down along with other black-owned companies near it. There are no copies of the newspaper or other black-owned newspapers other than reprinted parts in other papers. They were all burned and destroyed. Luckily, she was out of town when that happened. What did she do for women's rights? Ida B. Wells is known for her contributions to women's suffrage. Suffrage is the right to vote. She helped women use their voice. She tried to inspire women to join and fight for women's suffrage. She reached out and tried to inspire other African American women, or just women in general, to become involved in politics. We'll be back in a couple seconds. Go to the bathroom, get some water, and take a quick break. Hello! We are back from that short break. Now, let's continue where we left off. A summary of what we've learned about Ida B. Wells. Well, Ida B. Wells is one of the most memorable African American women in American history. She was driven to fix the inequalities we see in society. She worked on making her voice a voice for all the people who were looked down upon, disregarded, etc. So, what was her impact? Ida B. Wells helped the rate of lynching go down drastically. She helped women have the right to vote. Because of her efforts, people are more aware and are working on racial equality. However, we still have a long way to go to fully work on the social inequalities. She inspired many people to fight for their right and make their voices heard. Now, the reason we learn about these inspirational people. What can we do to continue their work? Well, we can start by being kind to each other. Social inequalities are one of the world's biggest problems. We should embrace differences and accept the new. Spread positivity and not negativity. Well, that's it for today's episode about Ida B. Wells. But don't fret, we'll be back next week for another episode of Impactful Women in History. And don't forget, go to www.capitalFicecream.cookie FIcecream.cookie and use our coupon code I.BWells in all caps to get 20% off your first order of fantastic luxury ice cream. I swear it's so good. Until next time, bye!